Good evening. Toastmaster, Toastmasters, and special guest over at the back, asleep. I just thought I'd draw your attention. Anyway, I was watching one of those regular documentaries on the television that leave you misty-eyed and fumbling for your credit card. As the programme came to a close, I had this overwhelming urge to save the world and to do all I could for my fellow man. It didn't last, and I downgraded the urge to do something more manageable. In recent years, there's been a great clamouring to save things, be it bats, cats, baboons, butterflies, fidelity pensions, don't go there, or whatever. You name it, and someone, somewhere, is trying to save it. Well, I didn't want to be left out, so I adopted these two dung beetles, which you can see them there. They're, oh dear, they can fly, so I won't go into that. Now, they make good eco-pets and are very popular in Japan. That's true. In Thailand, they are regarded as a culinary delight after the cleansing process, which I presume is a stomach pump or something, I don't know. If you have a bit of pasture and you can support a wildebeest, there's a lucrative opportunity to breed these beetles for export. They are the future, and they're no trouble. If you accidentally tread on your pet, there are no vet fees or threats of prosecution from the RSPCA. That could change. Just a quick apology. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, yeah. And a death flick into the wheelie bin. It is estimated that there are 2 million insects for every man, woman and child. And in the course of a lifetime, we will inadvertently kill many thousands of them, travelling by car, cycling, jogging, shopping, gardening, or even coming to this meeting. You will leave a trail of dead insects. Yeah. But this is nothing compared to the dreaded Pol Pot of the insect world. I refer to the naturalist David Attenborough and his entourage of camera crew with his convoy of Land Rovers, carting equipment and supplies, crashing through the jungles and rainforests of the world, often where man has never trodden before. This is inadvertent genocide on a huge scale. The dung beetle has been largely overlooked for the valuable contribution he makes to the planet. Without his input, we would be walking around on stilts, holding our nose and talking funny. His diet is done, and he rolls it into a ball and buries it underground in a channeled out larder. Not only does he irrigate the soil and give it nutrition, but he removes the breeding grounds of bush flies and parasites, creating a better hygiene. Here is a picture of one. Pushing a ball of dung, which is more than 50 times, I've got it upside down. He could have pushed it that way, I suppose, but he's actually down here. Now you can see that that ball of dung is more than 50 times his size. It's enormous, yeah. So, there, where are we? Oh yes, that was it. Not he irrigate the soil, but he removes the big there. Here's picture one, pushing a ball of dung, which is more than 50 times his size. I'm repeating myself here, but I just wanted to be sure that you Unfortunately, he was squashed by a passing lorry seconds after this photograph was taken, so he's no more. He certainly drew a short straw in the who's who of life. Imagine trying to have a snack with a herd of elephants foxtrotting around your dining table, especially if they decide to take a leak. Now, elephants jettison about 50 litres of urine every day. Now, that would be like the North Atlantic bursting through your kitchen window. If he is fortunate enough to survive these and other hazards, he can live from 1 to 4 years. There is one beetle from Peru that has abandoned the dung habit, changed his diet altogether, and he's become a predator. He now lives mainly on centipedes, which are often 10 times larger than him. And he shows no fear, and he's adapted his upper jaw to form an axe, which he uses to chop the victim's head off before dragging it to his larder. This is a huge stride in evolvement from herbivore to carnivore. The centipede makes his task easier by coiling himself into a useful ball. No wonder the ancient Egyptians worshipped this beetle. The theory is that pushing a ball of dung many times its own size had something to do with the rising and setting of the sun. I would give them more credit than that. The pharaohs would have known that without his input they would be up to their ears in camel poo. I would suggest that they were also aware of his strength. The dung beetle is the strongest insect on the planet. To give an example, the world's strongest man, a Lithuanian named we'll call him Fred. He won't mind. Names like that dislodge my dentures. Fred pulled a bird 747 for 30 metres in less than 75 seconds. This works out at 411 times his body weight. You might think that most impressive. But actually it's quite puny compared to the dung beetle, who can pull 1,141 times his own body weight. I think we have established who built the pyramids. Yeah. Fred has some catching up to do. Maybe he needs to tweak his diet a bit, you know. The most beautiful and popular beetle is the Kudgeyak, which can grow up to 57 millimetres, and dead specimens are often sold as souvenirs to tourists. They are getting more difficult to find in the wild, and there's a worry that they are close to extinction. Their biggest enemy, apart from Attenborough, is pesticides. With the world population at 7 billion and rapidly rising, these beetles will play a significant role in the future of the planet and our survival. We don't need to worship them, but we could show more regard for their welfare and diminishing habitat. Although this problem is being addressed, a lot more needs to be done. Thank you. You can keep that.